Marie Antoinette's reputation was already in tatters. This almost broke France. By 1785, the French monarchy, particularly Queen Marie Antoinette, faced a relentless onslaught of public criticism. The Queen, Austrian by birth, was widely perceived as extravagant, detached, and indifferent to the suffering of her people. Her perceived excesses fueled an anti-monarchical sentiment that was already simmering across the nation. Into this volatile environment stepped Jeanne de Valois-Saint-Trémy, a woman of extraordinary ambition and dubious aristocratic lineage. She claimed descent from the Valois kings, a claim that, while largely unsubstantiated, provided her with a veneer of legitimacy she exploited ruthlessly. Jeanne was no stranger to poverty, but she harbored grand designs. Her ultimate target, the highest echelons of French society, and specifically the Queen. Jeanne understood that access to power often came through those closest to it, and she began to meticulously cultivate connections, seeking out individuals who might be exploited for her schemes. One such individual was Cardinal Louis de Rohan, a man of immense wealth and influence, but also one burdened by a desperate desire for royal favor. Rohan, once a French ambassador to Vienna, had deeply offended Marie Antoinette's mother, Empress Maria Theresa, and consequently the French queen herself. Rohan yearned for reinstatement to the queen's good graces, believing it essential for his political future and his standing within the church. Jeanne de Valois, with her sharp perception, immediately recognized this vulnerability. She saw in Rohan not a man to be befriended, but a key to a much larger, more audacious plan. Her initial approach to Rohan was subtle. She presented herself as a confidante of the Queen, hinting at Marie Antoinette's secret admiration for the cardinal, despite public appearances. Jeanne fabricated letters, supposedly from the Queen, expressing growing affection and a desire for reconciliation. Rohan, blinded by hope, fell for the deception. The stakes escalated with the introduction of a truly magnificent piece of jewelry, a diamond necklace. Created by Parisian jewelers Baumer and Bassenge, it comprised 647 flawless diamonds, weighing over 800 carats, valued at an astronomical one. 6 million livres, an amount equivalent to hundreds of millions in today's currency. The necklace had initially been commissioned by King Louis Roman XV for his mistress, Madame du Barry, but he died before it was completed. The jewelers, now burdened by this unsold, immensely expensive creation, desperately sought a buyer, hoping the new queen, Marie Antoinette, would purchase it. Marie Antoinette, however, had famously rejected the necklace on multiple occasions. She found it ostentatious and given France's financial woes an irresponsible expenditure. Her exact words were said to be, "We have more need of frigates than of necklaces." Jeanne de Valois seized upon this. She informed Rohan that the Queen, while publicly rejecting the necklace, secretly desired it as a symbol of her renewed power and prestige, but wished to acquire it discreetly, away from the public eye. Rohan, still desperate for favor, was the perfect pawn. She orchestrated a clandestine meeting between Rohan and a woman she claimed was the Queen in the gardens of Versailles. In reality, it was a prostitute named Nicole d'Oliva, hired by Jeanne, dressed to resemble Marie Antoinette. In the dim light, d'Oliva merely nodded and handed Rohan a rose, a gesture he interpreted as the Queen's acceptance. Convinced he was acting on the Queen's behalf, Rohan agreed to purchase the necklace for her, acting as an intermediary. He signed promissory notes for the astronomical sum, believing Marie Antoinette would reimburse him. The jewelers, overjoyed to finally sell their burden, released the necklace into Rohan's care. Rohan then delivered the necklace to Jeanne de Valois, who assured him she would present it to the Queen. But the necklace never reached Marie Antoinette. Instead, Jeanne and her accomplice, her lover Nicolas de la Motte, quickly broke it apart, selling the individual diamonds in London and Paris. The scheme unraveled when the jewelers, Baumer and Bassenge, did not receive their first installment payment. They approached Marie Antoinette directly, expressing their gratitude for her purchase. The Queen, utterly bewildered, denied any knowledge of the transaction. On August 15, 1785, Cardinal Rohan was arrested in his episcopal vestments, right before Mass at Versailles. The news sent shockwaves through the French court and the entire nation. A prince of the church, implicated in such a scandal, involving the Queen herself. The ensuing trial, held before the Parliament of Paris, became a public spectacle. Jeanne de Valois, her husband, and other co-conspirators were also apprehended. The details of the deception, the forged letters, the impersonation, all came to light. Cardinal Rohan, despite his naivete, was ultimately acquitted. The Parliament, perhaps swayed by his aristocratic standing and the Queen's unpopularity, deemed him a victim of Jean's cunning. Jean de Valois, however, was found guilty. Her sentence was harsh: public flogging, branding with the letter V for voluous thief, and life imprisonment. She eventually escaped prison and fled to London, where she published her memoirs, further disparaging Marie Antoinette. The diamond necklace affair became a national obsession. For many, it confirmed their worst suspicions about the monarchy: a court rife with intrigue, corruption, and a queen who, even if innocent, was still perceived as reckless and surrounded by disreputable characters. While Marie Antoinette was technically innocent, the public perception was devastating. The affair deeply eroded what little credibility the monarchy still held. It painted a picture of a queen disconnected, even dangerously naive, about the machinations within her own court. The scandal further fueled the revolutionary fervor that was already growing. It became a powerful symbol of aristocratic decadence and incompetence, a stark contrast to the widespread poverty and unrest gripping France. It wasn't the sole cause of the revolution, but it was a potent accelerant. The diamond necklace affair stands as a testament to how a meticulously crafted deception, fueled by ambition and desperation, can resonate far beyond its immediate targets. It illustrates the fragility of public trust and how effectively a master manipulator can weaponize perception. The Queen's fate, and indeed the fate of the monarchy, was sealed not just by armies or political movements, but by the relentless chipping away of her image, culminating in this audacious, almost unbelievable con. The necklace, once a symbol of opulence, became a symbol of decay. It's a stark reminder that in the grand theater of power, reputation can be as valuable and as vulnerable as any treasure. Next, we unravel the intricate web woven by the woman who nearly stole the Mona Lisa, but for a very different reason.